I think there's a lot here for ordinary Americans, not to mention cynics, to doubt in the record of this judge. But she can overcome it by being fair, impartial, and straightforward, which I hope she will be. We have to presume she'll do the right thing. We have to hope that she'll be fair and impartial. But she has to overcome a presumption of some prejudice arising from her past rulings.
Should she recuse?
In the total scheme of things, I'd advise her to recuse, because I think that she starts behind in light of her previous rulings, which have been rejected soundly by the Court of Appeals.
Is that an appropriate thing? Should Jack Smith come and testify before Congress?
Totally abhorrent. Absolutely inappropriate for Republicans even to mention the idea of the prosecutor coming to testify in the midst of a serious criminal proceeding or any proceeding that's now in court. I think Republicans have really lost their way. The laws are enforced against everyone, and the important point here is it isn't the Department of Justice, it isn't the President of the United States, it is a grand jury of everyday Americans who has indicted Donald Trump. It is everyday Americans who will sit on a jury that will consider these charges. And America, in the court of public opinion, will make a judgment about whether Donald Trump is fit to be President of the United States.
Senator, what's the roadmap?
What is your level of concern with the judge, Eileen Cannon?
Senator, what's your reaction to some Republicans calling for violence or having these kind of cryptic messages that indicate?
Disgusting and frightening to think that someone in an elected office would even suggest violence in response to this situation. If there's anything members of Congress should be doing, it's to counsel people to follow this in an appropriate, nonviolent fashion and to exercise their rights as citizens, but not engage in violence.
The Republicans are saying that this is a completely different application of the law involving former President Trump versus Biden or Clinton, the way she mishandled classified information.
Then they haven't taken the time to look at the facts. They're so different. When you deal with Pence, Biden, Clinton, there was no willful concealment of official classified records. In this case, as the indictments spelled out in detail, there was alleged willful concealment over a longer period of time in completely different cases.
President Trump at all, and what are you advising him?
Well, I haven't talked to him lately. I think politically it's seen as a double standard, what I said Sunday. I think if you look at polling, most Republicans believe that what's happening to President Trump is one-sided. The Hunter Biden fiasco has been going on for 4 years. Other people have had classified information in their personal residence, and I'm not suggesting that having information on the garage floor of Joe Biden is espionage. I just think we're going down the wrong road there. So,
Could you support him if he's convicted?
Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, I intend to support President Trump. I don't think this trial goes to trial before the election. There are just way too many issues in his case for this trial to move forward, and the chance of him getting acquitted if a juror believes that this is unfair, you have to do two things as a prosecutor. You got to prove, you know, the letter of the law, then you got to prove this is the right thing to do.
Senator, there are some...
Do you think the former president is being overcharged by being charged under the Espionage Act?
I do. I really do. They found one Air Force case where some lieutenant colonel had some stuff for about 10 years. The Espionage Act, to me, is Snowden, is Chelsea Manning, is taking information, leaking it to the press in a way to hurt the country, or, you know, selling it to a foreign power. The idea that there's no violent solution to this problem. We have a legal system. He will be represented. There will be appeals. This will go all the way to the Supreme Court. There's a belief on the Republican side that the law doesn't apply equally to Republicans and Democrats, but that's no reason to engage in violent activity. Anybody engages in violence, you do so at your own peril. I hope the full weight of the law comes down on you if you go to that.
A lot of Democrats are raising concerns about Eileen Cannon. Do you have any concerns about her?
Where is the discussion about a sitting president that his Justice Department just indicted his top candidate that's going to run against him in less than 2 years? Where is that? Anybody discussing that? What about the documents sitting in there? So when you talk to me about this, is it a fair, equal justice? That's concerning to all America, regardless of where they stand on this indictment or the others. You can't have it two different ways.
They're persecuting Donald Trump.
You don't think he did anything wrong?
Compared to Joe Biden, 37 indictments on classified documents that Joe Biden had on his garage floor, the 1023 letter, we took $5 million in bribes in 2017. They're scared to death of him being president. That's it.
Joe Biden gave the documents back. Donald Trump didn't.
That can be debated. The Presidential Records Act of 1981 covers that. This is a witch hunt. And let them do it because it's helping them in the polls. It is helping Donald Trump in the polls. And let the American people decide.